What makes us happy? People from various facets of our society find happiness in different things. Some feel happy because they get to do the things that they enjoy. Others find happiness in their loved ones. But what would happen if one day they can't see the people that they always wake up to? What if they can't hear the voices of their loved ones? Would losing the ability to do things make them feel any less happy? Stephanie was diagnosed with retinal dystrophy at the age of 5. Her parents couldn't look after her, so her aunt and uncle decided to take her in.
I only hear from what they remembered, my aunt and uncle remembered. They told me I was crying a lot, like before I entered the house. But as soon as I entered the house, my uncle just carried me, then I just stopped crying. And they don't see my blindness as any reason why it should deter me from doing anything at all. I've been raised with this concept that even though you're blind, but you have to learn to live your life. So they have been teaching me to do like simple things since at a young age, like folding clothes, washing dishes, going to places that I'm familiar with. Sometimes like in school, they will just let me walk on my own.
At the age of 23, Stephanie plays for the Singapore Youth Chinese Orchestra, practicing intensively till the evening on weekdays.
I hope to reach out to people like myself who are blind or visually impaired and who have dreams, but they are facing some doubts or they are not sure where to go or how to do it. I wish to tell them that I myself have also been in that position once, and yet I've bumped into a lot of people who have empowered me, like my aunt and uncle, my mentor, and music instructors who have also been empowering me a lot all these years. No matter how long it takes, you must never give up on your dreams, for you never know what awaits you on the other side.
Nine years ago, Roger was on his way back from work, late at night. The taxi driver insisted on dropping him off on the road opposite his block. While crossing the road, he suffered a stroke and fell on his head. He was stranded in the middle of the road till the ambulance came. Before his accident happened, Roger was a financial consultant and property agent. Today, Roger works at a rojak stall in Serangoon. He has adapted to the effects of his accident and has become proficient at making rojak. He's only able to use one hand. The fall from his stroke has also affected his speech.
Yes, sugar. Yes, sugar.
He says that he will recover by 50% at most. He finds it easier to communicate by talking.
Yeah.
Working at Dignity Kitchen makes him happy.
Yeah, yes.
Kok Wah is the deaf lead in operations of Hush Tea, an impact business focused on mental wellness and deaf empowerment.
Being deaf during the childhood years were like winter flowers trying to survive a hot day. When I was young, I found it difficult to be understood by others because I have limited speech usage, even though I received intensive help from my former speech teacher therapist at school. I spent my childhood days normally just like others, but with the lack of sound, like watching TV without sound and subtitles, or being stuck bored during Chinese New Year visits. I have a temper that cannot be tamed. This usually happens when I am misunderstood in any kind of conversation or activity. I just don't like being wrong for something I didn't do. And yes, being ignored during any kind of meeting, group or family gatherings gets my temper going, and it is challenging to keep myself in the same place. Supporting a guy full of explosions is not an easy feat for them, yet they soldier on, being patient with me at work. They are not just any colleagues who give up on me and ask me to get off their faces. What's most special about them is they are people with mental health issues and they deal with that daily. I feel so small and humbled by them because they truly care for me and others in Hush. The working experience in Hush is so unique that I cannot draw a comparison to other social enterprises because it is supported by people who has hit hard bottom in their lives, went through such times experiencing hurt and grief in work, love, and human interaction. The value of human interaction is something I can connect to, which is largely the reason for being left out of interactions back then. Anthea, our founder, exhorts that value by being a founder and boss who cares and gives us space to slow down wherever we feel stressed. She always hugs us every time she meets us. At first, I did not like hugging back then. But now, because of her, I found myself hugging anyone who needs that during her sessions.
Anthea invited Stephanie over for a private meditation session with Hush.
Last one is seventh one. Inland.
Actually, I was born with a disability myself. I was born with an eye defect. You know, there definitely was that sense of feeling less and feeling like I was not belonging. So we do a bit of singing, just to get everyone to sort of come down, especially for them that just came from work and all that. You just listen to my voice and I'll just guide you through. And don't worry, I'm next to you anyway, right? So don't worry if you don't follow anything. This is not a class. This is just gathering of people who just want to have some sort of quiet moments. I would always like to invite all of you out there to think about how different our life would be if instead of focusing on what we don't have, right, we focus on what we have. Rest your hands on your knees, but with the palms facing up. Instead of yearning for where we were, focus on what you have now. Doesn't mean that you stop thinking about the future, but your future should not be the only thing you think of. About 13 years ago, I had the biggest collapse of my life, and I literally was nursing a broken heart because my ex-husband cheated on me, not just once, not just twice. So having fallen from a high place and being in that deep, dark abyss, I was definitely depressed. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I thank you and I love you. What averted me from the slippery slope, the downward slippery slope, was because of silence. What we really wanted to do was to bring self-care and social inclusion into every workplace and every community. There is never any person without ability. Happiness is really not stagnant. The way we define and the way happiness means to us really changes through the different seasons of our lives, through the different stages.
Happiness is very subjective. One can feel gratified whenever they are complimented or feel joy when they give back to the community. However, the feeling can fade away after a while, or if they experience a negative emotion. Not everyone lives their life the same way. It really depends on the individual's heart and attitude towards life to feel happy, and they are bound by that.